Hey there, if you want to maintain weight loss after a diet for good, then there are two very important areas to focus your time and energy on after you finish dieting, and one crucial item to focus on before you even start dieting. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Paul Salter. I'm a registered dietitian who has been fortunate enough to work with more than 1,400 men and women, helping them to collectively lose tens of thousands of pounds of fat and keep it off for good. And in today's video, I'm going to share 3 areas of focus, 3 tips, if you will, to help you maintain weight loss for good. And my first tip for you is to actually focus on what you're doing before you start dieting. And it is to really pour into developing a foundation of healthy eating habits that truly support sustainability. In fact, in one of my recent videos, I gave you an in-depth explanation of 3 tips to make sustainable weight loss a focus from day one. But in short, where you need to focus your time and energy in before you begin dieting is building a framework founded upon individualization, simplicity, and sustainability. And what I mean by that is before you begin dieting, before you decide to outsource your nutrition information to Fad Diet A, Random Diet Plan B, or Recommended Diet Plan C from said coworker, ask yourself how you want to eat. Look, you already know how to eat healthy. You've got a pretty good idea of what portion control looks like, what moderation looks like. So now you need to take your already strong foundation of nutrition knowledge and now adapt it to your lifestyle preferences and how many days or how many times per day you want to eat, what times a day you want to eat, and other times you don't want to eat. And I promise you, if you focus on building a framework that is unique to you, that is simple, it is going to propel sustainability for you. And you can take this framework of healthy eating habits and literally let it serve you for the rest of your life. The only thing you will ever need to do if you do this heavy lifting up front is just toggle the portion sizes every now and then based on whether or not you're trying to lose weight or maintain weight. Which brings me to probably the most important point after number 1 is tip number 2, which is to, after you finish a diet now, so this is where we transition, tip number 2 is eat more food after you finish dieting. In fact, of my decade plus in this area, I have found that the number 1 mistake so many people make when trying to maintain weight loss after a diet is they do not begin eating more. And this is problematic for so many reasons, but in particular, hear me out. When you have continued to consistently eat fewer calories than you need to drive weight loss for a period of months, what happens is your body adjusts. So if you were used to eating 2,000 calories per day, for example, before you started dieting, and we fast forward 90 days later, and now you're eating 1,200 calories, well, your body adjusts to conserve energy because, to be quite frank, it hates that you're dieting. It hates being put through the mental, physiological, and emotional stressors of dieting. So it adapts, and now all of a sudden, 90 days into a diet, 1,200 calories becomes a calorie amount that your body needs to maintain weight loss. No longer is it leading to weight loss. 1,200 calories is your weight maintenance number now. That's what I meant to say, excuse me there. And I think you and I both know what happens when we eat 1,200 calories, no matter our age, shape, and size. For about 98% of us, lots of hunger, lots of cravings, lots of fatigue, and an overall negative impact on our happiness and mental well-being. So one of the best ways to reverse all of that, to better manage appetite, hunger, cravings, energy levels, mental well-being, is to simply flip the diet around, to reverse diet and gradually begin increasing the amount of food you eat every couple of weeks or months. And what this looks like is simply, let's say, for example, we're using that 1,200 calorie example I shared with you previously. Maybe as soon as you transition out of your dieting phase, you bump that up to 1,400 calories. 1 month later, now maybe it's 1,700 calories. And you do this for a period of 2 to 3 months until you get within 90% or so of what you were previously eating. Now, you may be wondering, why not 100% of what I was previously eating? because you've lost significant weight, so your needs are a little bit lower, which is a really cool thing, but we need to be mindful of it. If you continue to try and adhere to 1,200 calories per day and you ignore all of that advice I just shared with you, and basically you have not increased your food after dieting, what happens? Well, your cravings become stronger, your appetite becomes stronger, your fatigue skyrockets, and you are not in a favorable position to maintain consistency, compliance, or adherence to your nutrition plan and numbers. Therefore, you will, and mark my word, you will inevitably binge and binge again and binge again, and find yourself trapped in a vicious, restricting, binging cycle that robs you of the so many joys, pleasures, and energies of life, and it will take a very serious toll on your health, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and put you in a very unfavorable position. So you need to have a plan to gradually increase your food after a diet. And tip number 3 is to intentionally indulge in your favorite foods now that you are no longer dieting. Now, here's what I mean by that. It is likely that when you were dieting, you at least limited the number of times or occasions, whether you dined out or enjoyed your favorite foods or an alcoholic beverage. Now that you're not dieting, if you really want to maintain weight loss for good, well, it is imperative that you resume some semblance of normalcy so you can continue to navigate social occasions, the summer, holidays, vacations, etc., with a plan of indulging intentionally, yet a balance between that and eating to fuel your goals. So when I say the words indulge intentionally, what I mean is if you had, for example, 5 special occasions or opportunities to indulge in the coming month, only focus your attention on indulging on the ones that are like a 9 or 10 on a scale of 1 being not really that exciting to 10 being extremely exciting indulgence opportunities. So you're going to get in this habit now of ranking and scoring every indulging opportunity on a scale of 1 to 10 and focusing on those that are the higher numbers. Let me give you a really easy example. If you pass by cookies in your office every single day, those are probably really low on the value and reward scale because you see them every day. The cookies are meh. You don't really need them. They don't really provide much for you. But let's say your coworker brings in homemade cheesecake once in a blue moon. Boom, that's a 10 out of 10. Indulge intentionally in that and get right back on track. So in short, I guess it's really choose your indulgences wisely, be mindful and present when you are enjoying them, enjoy them to the fullest, savor every bite, and then simply get back on track. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, those are 3 action steps you can take or tips you can implement to truly maintain weight loss for good. And again, it starts before the diet with building a framework of healthy eating habits unique to you that is simple and sustainable. And then when we do transition out of a dieting phase, you need to begin gradually eating more food every couple weeks or months. And lastly, make sure that you indulge intentionally. Choose those indulgences wisely so that you're not indulging left and right and rapidly reaccumulating the pounds you worked so hard to lose. And I'm curious to know, have you found another strategy that I'm missing very effective as well to help you maintain weight loss for good? Go ahead, let me know in the comments section. Let's chat there and have a conversation. See if we can get a long list of other action-packed tips to implement and share with others. Well, thank you so much for watching. And hey, I'll be honest, if you found this video helpful, it would mean the world to me if you gave it a thumbs up, shared it with a friend or loved one who needs it, and also subscribe to my channel so that you and I can hang out every single week when I release a brand new video on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.